Good evening. Welcome to Mitchell High School. My name is Jeff Bond, and I'm honored to serve as the principal here at Mitchell High School. And we are honored to have you here as our guest as we talk about next year for your student and what the freshman year is going to look like here at Mitchell High School. And I must tell you, we are really excited. A lot of things are happening here. Things that we've been working on since school started this year. Changes, modifications, growing, progressing, making adjustments. I will tell you my experience. I come to you here still in my first year at Mitchell High School, but my 29th year in education. And I've had the opportunity to work alongside some of the most passionate, dedicated professionals that I've ever seen. But I will tell you this staff, the people in this building, the teachers that will be working with your students, the counselors that will be working with them and helping them plan for their next step, whatever that is, whether that's, we talk about 3 E's, so I'll use those 3 E's here. Enlistment, enrollment, or employment, right? Those are the 3 options, and every one of them is equal to the other, and we want to see that happen. But those counselors will be helping them develop plans. They'll be working alongside your student, talking to you along the way, and making sure that we are positioning them to be as successful as possible. But we have a lot of things going on at the high school, and that's why we wanted to have this meeting. We will not cover everything that will happen next year. This is simply a taste of the things that you need to be thinking about, looking forward to. We will be meeting with individual students as the year goes on to reinforce many of these ideas and these opportunities. But we wanted to welcome you here tonight, and I want to specifically say I appreciate your flexibility. I know that scheduling is difficult this time of year, and when we had it planned on Tuesday and then the snow out, it created some significant scheduled challenges. But we will respect your time. We'll get you in and out. And for those who are unable to be here, we're recording this presentation right now, and it'll be on the website, and we'll have copies of the PowerPoint available for them as well. So as I said, my name is Jeff Bond, and I serve as the principal. I'm going to have my team stand up here as I introduce them. My assistant principal, Mr. Robert Hayslip. The athletic director, Mr. Amos Wagner. School counselors, Susan Taylor, director of guidance, and Jessica Stillions is also a guidance counselor, and she takes care of last names L through Z. We'll have some other people here. I'm not going to get to them quite yet. We'll introduce them as we go. But I wanted to introduce those people because they'll be the ones leading you through tonight. And so let's go ahead and start with that. And at this time, I'm going to kind of bring up Susan Taylor, who will talk about connecting with us and those different pieces.
Hello. First and foremost, we wanted to put information on the board regarding how to contact us, because we want you to understand that we are here to collaborate with you and work with you for the success of your students. So please feel free to call us at the high school. When you do, frequently we are in and out. We're not typically in our offices, or if we are, we sometimes have our noses in Harmony, which is the student information system I'm sure you guys are familiar with. But when you call us, if you leave a message, please give us some indication of what you are needing from us, because that helps us with being prepared to call you back. Sometimes we're in the classrooms, sometimes we're out at meetings, sometimes we're meeting with your students. So that would be super helpful. Additionally, if you are going to email us, it is our last name, the first initial of our first names, and then at mitchell.k12.in.us. So again, please do not hesitate to contact us. In fact, we will reach out to you throughout the year, and I think this is going to be a year, I don't want to steal their thunder, but this is going to be a year where I think you're going to hear from us a lot. So we look forward to that. Okay, so I'm going to pass it off to Mrs. Stillions, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of what we've talked to your kids about on Monday, and then we're going to meet with them again tomorrow.
So what we do in the guidance department, we do a lot of academic advising. We do college and career planning. We do a little bit of the social emotional counseling. However, our license is actually school counseling, so when we're talking mental health and all of that, we may not get really in depth with that. We do, however, have support for your children at the high school. We have a social worker, Mrs. Johnson, that is available to your students also. But we do want to know your students as a whole because, you know, obviously that everything plays a role with their education and academics. So next year at MHS, we will be moving towards a block schedule. What that means is that your students actually have the possibility of getting 16 credits. Currently, they are only able to get 14 credits per year. With that, they will have 4 classes per day. On Monday and Wednesday, it'll be the same class load. Tuesdays and Thursdays, it'll be the other set of classes. And then on Fridays, they will actually have all 8 classes. That allows for them to have more time in the classroom. So let's say your student's learning a certain subject. That allows for them to have more class time to go through that with their teacher, to ask those questions that are important to learning, and to actually apply that with their teacher there in the classroom. Okay, so the goal is to earn credits. I know up until this point, students could fail a class and they continue on. However, there are state requirements that students have to pass a class in order to get a credit. Let's say they do not pass algebra one semester, they will continue to take that until they actually pass it. It is a requirement. Okay, so we have different diploma types. The baseline model is what I'd like to call it, is the Core 40 diploma. From there, there's an academic honors diploma and a technical honors diploma. We do have a general diploma, but that is something that we will not talk about tonight, and we probably won't talk about that probably till their junior year, just based off of requirements and what they're meeting and what they're not meeting. Okay, so the Core 40 diploma, each year the students will need to take an English, so that's 8 total credits. So 1 English class a year, 2 semesters of those. 6 math credits. They are required to take algebra, geometry, and algebra 2. 6 science credits, so they will begin their freshman year with biology. They have a choice the following year of integrated chem and physics, chemistry, or physics. And then they'll also get to choose the next year. They'll take 2 world history, which they will be taking their freshman year also. 2 U.S. history credits. Those credits will be earned their junior year. 1 econ and 1 government credit, and those will be taken their senior year. And they will take 2 PE credits, which are also taken their freshman year, and 1 health credit, which is also taken their freshman year. So with that doesn't add up to 40 credits, so just keep in mind that they will also be offered electives that are more career-oriented or more interest-based.
So just to give a little bit more information, as Mrs. Stillions mentioned, English freshman year, Algebra 1 freshman year, biology freshman year, world history, PE, and health. And then paired with that health is going to be a career exploration course. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in the future. But we're very front end loaded, and we're doing that intentionally. We want the freshmen that first year to really learn how to be good high school students, to get their feet underneath them, and then as we move forward with our academy model after freshman year, we want students to start focusing more on what it is they're interested in doing after high school. So, Core 40, as Mrs. Stillions mentioned, Core 40 diploma is kind of like the basic model. It's the state standard that Indiana expects our students to receive. If you would like to go over and above, we have the Core 40 plus academic honors diploma. That actually requires a minimum of 47 credits. But with, as Mrs. Stillions mentioned, now we're gonna have 16 crediting opportunities per year. When you take that times 4, that's 64 opportunities over the course of the 4 years that the students are with us. So it should not be difficult at all to end up with 40, the minimum. And then it's also fairly easy to end up with 47. And also we have students who sometimes end up earning not only the academic honors diploma, but the technical honors diploma. So it's very achievable. The difference between the Core 40 and the Core 40 with academic honors, they're in bold. So still English, still the same requirements for science and etc. But math, 2 credits beyond Algebra 2. And the students will have some choice in that matter. They can do pre-calculus. In fact, we talked about this with your kids on Monday. For those students who feel really strongly with their math skills, and for those students who are interested in doing maybe a STEM-related career or healthcare, or who just want to challenge themselves with math, we would encourage them to double up that sophomore year in math. And Mrs. McDonald can talk about that a little bit if she wants to. But again, 2 credits beyond Algebra 2, and the options for that are going to be pre-calculus and trigonometry. And then if you double up, that allows students to take calculus at a later point. And we'll also have finite and quantitative reasoning for them to choose from. And then you can see down below, 2 fine arts credits are required for the academic honors diploma. That doesn't have to necessarily be just art, like as in 2-dimensional art. It can also be choir, it can be band, or it can be music appreciation. And then students also are required to have 6 to 8 world language credits. And 3 years of one world language will fulfill that. So for example, 3 years of Latin or 3 years of Spanish, or students may choose to take 2 years of 2 different languages, but you will have to take a 4th year. So that would be 2 of Latin and 2 of Spanish if you prefer to do it that way. And then the final requirements for this are no grade lower than a C- will count toward this diploma. And also students must have a 3.0 GPA by graduation, and that's a B average. For Core 40 with technical honors, students must complete all the same requirements as those as the Core 40, and then there are additional requirements technically speaking. So they also, like the academic honors, must earn a 3.0 by graduation, again that B average, and no grade lower than a C-. But with regard to this diploma type, students must complete 6 credits in a state-approved career and tech ed pathway. A lot of times that's easily achieved through a class, maybe at North Lawrence Career Center, but also we are trying to make it a lot easier for students to receive that here at Mitchell. So your kids are going to hear a lot more about that when they are scheduling for sophomore, junior, and senior years. We don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, but we do want you guys to be aware graduation pathways are required for students to graduate. And you will hear throughout the next 4 years us talk about buckets and those buckets needing to be filled. Bucket 1 is just earning your diploma. That's always been a requirement. In the past, so if you have older children who have graduated prior to this year, in the past, students were required to take the ISTEP and earn a certain score on the English portion and a certain score on the math portion. That requirement has gone away, which is a good thing. Now for bucket 2, students have to learn and demonstrate employability skills. Lots of ways that they can do that. We talked about this with the 8th graders. Part-time job, taking our JAG program with us during the high school day, Boy Scouts, 4-H, sports, all ways to earn that bucket 2 requirement. So pretty easy for bucket 2, and then bucket 3 is demonstrating post-secondary readiness competencies. Which means just showing that you're college, career, or military ready. And so ways to earn that are to earn a certain score on the ASVAB, which is a military exam, to earn a certain score on the SAT, which is a college entrance exam, to earn certain grades in career and tech ed classes, to become a CTE concentrator, also taking dual credit courses or AP courses. So lots of different ways to earn bucket 3 as well. But those are all things that must be taken care of to graduate from high school. So your students received a course offering sheet. They got this on Monday. We will have these at the end if anybody needs 1 or 2 to take with you. If we could just have those filled out by tomorrow, that would be fantastic, because we are going to help your kids finish this up tomorrow. We have already forced into the system their math classes, their science class, their world history class, PE, health, and their career exploration class. We also forced in regular English 9, but we're going to have that conversation tomorrow about, do we want to stay in regular English 9 or do we want to take honors English 9? And then we move on to those 2 electives that the kids get to choose. Those electives are listed at the bottom, and what we explain to the kids are we want them to choose 2. So you'll see that there are categories of electives on the sheet. We encourage our kids who are planning to seek an academic honors diploma, we definitely want them to pick a language next year, whether that be Latin or Spanish. And then if they would like, they may choose to go ahead and get their fine art done and out of the way. We also want to make sure that you guys as parents understand that music appreciation will be offered to our students next year. This is a dual credit course, and it will be available to them through our Cosmos collaboration, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. Additionally, underneath fine arts electives, there are CTE or career and tech ed electives. And we also have study hall. Kids may only take 1, and this is just if you feel like your kids are going to need that extra time to get homework done. But please remember, another beauty of the block schedule is 4 classes typically a day. So Monday and Wednesday, as Mrs. Stillian said, the same classes, and Tuesday and Thursday the same classes. We want kids to make sure that on Monday night, blue night, you do blue night homework, so that on Tuesday, your gold day, if you ran into any issues, you can also ask for assistance from your teachers. And then that homework will be due on your next blue day. It's not automatically due the following day, which I think freshmen will find very helpful. But again, back to the course choices, CTE electives, study hall, again, they may take 1. And then if your students are interested in the social studies electives, they may choose 2 of those to combine into 1 for the whole year. All of the other classes are year-long classes. So we're going to go through those with them tomorrow and help them put those last 2 choices in to the computer system. But they are more than welcome to choose 2 CTE electives if they want. I had a student ask me about, can I take art and can I take, I've always taken band, can I take band and art? Absolutely, they can. You want to talk about that, please?
Okay, so as Mrs. Taylor mentioned, we talked about the 3 buckets, right? So diploma type, employability skills, and then the third bucket includes what we talk about as far as pathways. We are working extremely hard at Mitchell High School to expand our pathway options for our students. And that is both in the CTE framework, so college tech or career tech ed, but also in what we would consider college-ready courses with dual credit opportunities. So what you'll see up here, we have these offerings. On the right-hand side, that's what we've been offering because of our partnership through the North Lawrence Community Career Center, right? So automotive collision repair, automotive services, all of those are offered. I believe fire service is a new offering this year. What we are offering at Mitchell High School, we offer agriculture, both horticulture and landscape architecture, construction trades, which will be a new one, that is a new pathway, computer science, which will include cybersecurity and also digital design, and then civic arts, band, chorus, art, digital manufacturing. Folks, there are 4 schools in the state of Indiana that offer digital manufacturing. None of them are in southern Indiana, except us, okay? That's coming next year. We're talking top of the line robotics for manufacturing. That's coming here next year. Education, we're working on developing a full pathway in education, both for those who are interested in elementary ed or secondary ed, and then engineering and health careers. Those are all going to be offered internally here at South Dearborn High School. Now, some of those courses will, South Dearborn, pardon me, that's a slip up, Mitchell High School, at Mitchell High School. We didn't offer near that at the other place. Anyway, so those are the options we have available. Now, let me introduce the team that's going to get you there, right? So for the students, right, I don't know about you, but I like Marvel and the Avengers and all that kind of stuff. So when I think of these guys over here, I think of Avengers and all of those different superpowers that they bring together, because that's what I think about with this team. So as I introduce them, if you would stand. Okay, English, Rebecca Knight. Stand. Don't sit down, you gotta stay standing. Okay? Math, Kristen McDonald. And then social studies, Nick Carr. And science, Meg Sears. This will be the freshman academy teachers. Now, one of the things we talked about is that we are building and changing a lot of the things that we do here at Mitchell High School. Those being, right, the schedule you've already heard us talk about with block schedule and what that looks like. Alternating days, longer class periods, ability to do more project-based learning, and a variety of different things. Using that same schedule, we will have freshmen in a freshman academy, known as the Blue Jacket Academy. These 4 teachers will have your students, right? Those will be your core teachers for the school year. We talked about what those core classes are going to be. English, right? Regular or honors. Math, which will be Algebra 1. And then social studies, which will be world history. And then science, which will be biology. Those are your 4 core. Then you're going to have, in addition to that, health, PE, and then a career class, which is a dual credit class through Ivy Tech College, right? So those opportunities are going to be available. You're getting dual credits as a freshman in high school. Think about that fact. Those are credits you will not have to take again when you go to college, or if you choose to go to college. So, Avengers Assemble, right? Here they are. Fantastic group. I couldn't ask for a better group of individuals to work on this. And they have been working very, very hard, planning and organizing what the freshmen, the Blue Jacket Academy, will look like for you this year. So, a lot of things to be excited about. Yes, Mr. Carr, you want to come up and speak? Anybody?
Hi, I'm Mr. Carr. I teach world history. It's my first year at Mitchell teaching. So like I said, next year we're going to an academy model, and that just means that every year your kid gets freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. After the freshman year, they're just going to pick a career path and kind of focus on classes that take them that way. The problem is freshman year, nobody knows what they want to do. So myself and the other 3 teachers over here, we created the Freshman Academy. So all 8th graders will be under us, And it's just a way for us to kind of build them kind of a school within a school where they have 4 teachers that are all kind of doing the same thing, working together, always monitoring your kids. One of our big goals is we'll be reaching out to you very soon about a lot of things we have planned for when they are freshmen, but to really establish communication with you guys so you always kind of know what your students are going through their freshman year, especially with us being their core teachers. There's a lot that we have planned. We're still kind of working out those details. All I want to say right now is just kind of expect some stuff to come from the 8th grade teachers. We know that we have some events planned, especially over the summer, to try and get them acclimated to high school and being part of Mitchell High School. So.
So another thing that we want to share with you guys and make sure that you're aware of is our collaboration between Shoals, Mitchell, and Orleans High Schools. And it's called Cosmos, and it's fantastic. And that also is part of the reason why we've moved to the block schedule, to make it easier for us to collaborate and share resources. Together we can achieve a lot more because of the resources that we each individually have. But when we partner, our kids have access to all of that. So we 3 schools work together to provide our students with expanded educational opportunities. For example, our math teacher, Mr. Carr, our upper level, he teaches our pre-calc and trigonometry, finite, calculus. He also teaches physics. And we have some schools, Shoals and Orleans, that don't have a dual credit math teacher available to them. So their kids take math with us. We collaborate in order to give their students the opportunity to earn dual credit in those classes. Likewise, we don't have a CNA instructor. CNA is Certified Nursing Assistant, and that's part of our healthcare pathway. But Shoals does. And so our kids work with the Shoals instructor to earn those certifications so that kids can come away with even more dual credit opportunities and more certifications. Orleans has music appreciation, and they are gracious enough to share with us. And so next year, our freshmen, these guys in this room, are going to have the opportunity to take dual credit music appreciation next year through Ivy Tech and through Orleans. And how that will look is they will be in a classroom here with a teacher monitoring them, but they're going to be learning from the Orleans teacher synchronously at the same time while that teacher instructs them. It's worked out very well so far, and we're super excited just to give our kids more opportunities. One more thing we want to share with you is our new exciting partnership with Ivy Tech, so that we can offer your students the ICC, or the Indiana College Core. We don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this either, but basically what it boils down to is it's a block of 30 credit hours of general education college level coursework that transfers to Indiana public colleges that will save you as parents time. It will save your students time. It will save you guys a lot of money. Basically, your kids essentially will go into college as sophomores because they take that block of credits with them. It's a huge opportunity. Not only are you saving on tuition, you're saving on room and board, and it's a big deal. So we're really excited to partner with Ivy Tech and be able to offer that to your students. And again, your kids will have the opportunity to start on that next year by taking that music appreciation course. It does satisfy one of the requirements for the ICC, and by taking that career exploration course. And we just really want the freshmen to understand they're capable. They are 100% capable of taking a college course and being successful, and we want them to learn that right off the bat. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Wagner, our athletic director, and he's going to give you guys some information on athletics.
All right, so real quick, we touch base. So physicals, by this point, you know the standard for physicals. They must be dated after April 1st, 2023 to be eligible for the 23-24 season, okay? For you to begin, you have to have them on file with the athletic department no later than July 1st, right? Now, what does that mean for, if you don't do anything till the winter, that's fine. July 1st is the starting point for all summer activities that will be leading into the seasons in the fall, okay? Touch base on academics. This is really going to be quick here. All student athletes must pass 5 classes, okay? Like we said, you're taking 8 classes because of your block schedule. You have to pass 5 of those. If you have a study hall or you have an office help and it knocks you down to 7 classes, you still have to pass 5. 5 is the magic number that you have to have, right? Most reliable and up-to-date schedule. You know, we do still print out the schedule cards that everybody loves to have in their back pocket, so they always have it. With the way technology is now, we can actually scan this QR code. It'll take you right to an event link. You set the system up, you can actually pick the sports that you want updated. When you pick that sport, as soon as I go through and I cancel, I change a date, I add a game, it will automatically text your phone and tell you what has been added, what has been changed. Okay, so there's no miscommunication anymore. I wouldn't have to run back to the back doors constantly here to tell people that the Bloomington South game has been postponed, because people do not know that because it doesn't change on that little printout card. Later on this year, we will be having a parent meeting. It will be a huge meeting of a lot of different changes athletics will be going through this year. So a lot of information will be coming out of that. We will get all that information to you before the end of school this year. That way everybody is aware of it. It will be a meeting that you will have to be in attendance for as a student and as a parent. Right? There are sign-offs that will have to be done at that meeting. So just keep that in the back of your head. More information will be coming out about that. So some of the activities that we offer, fall activities, football, volleyball, girls golf, boys and girls cross country, co-ed soccer, marching band, color guard, and cheerleading. Then we switch over to the winter activities, basketball, wrestling, dance, winter guard, and then the spring, boys, girls, track, baseball, softball, boys golf. So with these, right, the main point with us showing you all of these, if you have any interest in these, even if you are in marching band, color guard, any of that, you still need a physical on file because of the kind of work that you are going to do. That way we can make sure that you are healthy and we can be able to put that medical emergency plan together. That way we know that everybody has one on file. We have all the contacts and everything we need. So just don't think because you're not in an athletic sport of football or volleyball or something of that nature that you don't need one. Band and color guard are just as important. But with all the movements and everything that they do, we still have to have that stuff on file.
Okay, we just wanted to include a slide with club and extracurricular activity on it, so you guys can see all the different things that are available to your students once they move up to the high school level. Academic team, Amnesty, Art Club, Best Buddies, Champions Together, Chess Club, Esports, FCA, FFA, Fresh Start, HOSA, Key Club, MHS Choir, National Honor Society, National Technical Honor Society, Publications, SAD, Science Club, Spanish Club, Student Council, Tabletop, which is board games, and Tri-High-Y. So lots of different things for your kids to get involved with. Which leads us to how to be successful once you become a high schooler. It's not rocket science, but it bears repeating. Attendance, come to school, that's half the battle. The other almost half of the battle is do your homework. If you are doing your homework and you're coming to school, you are going to be successful. Number 3, get involved. That's why we listed all those athletics and all of those clubs. We want you guys to get involved and we want you to become a part of the whole. And I think the Freshman Academy is really going to help with that this coming year as well. And then finally, we want you to ask for help when you need it. We told the students Monday, a lot of times I'll get an email that says, "I'm sorry to bother you, Mrs. Taylor." Why would you apologize? We are here for your students. They are not a bother. They are not a bother to the teachers. We are here to help them learn and to help them through this process. So we want them, but we're not psychic. So we don't know you need help unless you tell us you need help. So please make sure to ask for assistance when you need it. Freshman orientation event, late summer, date to be determined, but we're gonna do some cool things to make the kids more comfortable. And we have been telling them, we told them Monday, a lot of times it's stressful to be in a new environment, but we've talked to the kids about, you're not gonna be the only ones. The sophomores, the juniors, the seniors, they're not used to a block schedule, so they're gonna be learning right alongside of you guys, so I'm hoping that alleviates a little bit of the stress for you all too. But at this event, you guys will be touring the building, possibly receiving your class schedule. We've talked about maybe that being an incentive for some things. And then locker assignments is being discussed as a possibility, just getting that then too. But I think probably like maybe just even finding out where your classes are so you're more comfortable, things of that nature. So at this time, we would like to open it up for questions. If you guys would like to come down and meet the academy teachers, if you would like to talk to your student's counselor, but please let us know if you have questions. And then we just want to finish up with, we really genuinely look forward to having your kids with us next year. I would say this if we hadn't have gotten the great reports that we have on them, but we have it on very good authority that this is an outstanding class, and it's a large class. There's 120 8th graders coming to us next year. But we have told them we're ready for some great things because we hear that this is a really good class. So we are really looking forward to having them with us. And please don't hesitate to come down and ask us questions, or you guys are welcome to ask as a group as well, but I know sometimes people are uncomfortable to do that. So thank you so much for coming, and again, we really look forward to having your kids with us.